got a problem. And I call this problem my yarn stash. Okay, perhaps problem is a bit of an overstatement, but my yarn stash is just a little bit bigger than I would like it to be, and it's been a bit bigger than I would like it to be for a while now. And so this year I really want to focus on knitting from out of my stash and not buying any new yarn. So I thought perhaps we could go through all my yarn together, plan out some projects, and hopefully get rid of some yarn this year. So what I've done already in advance of filming this video is putting every single skein that I have in my yarn stash in my Ravelry stash. So after I put all my yarn into Ravelry, it gives me the amount of skeins that I have. So according to them, it's 120 skeins. I'm not sure how they calculate that. And because I'm not so sure, I instead did it myself by summing up the total amount of grams that I have, divided it by 50, and that gives me 240 skeins. So I'm assuming roughly the same thing, but with 100 gram skeins. But because I'm not 100% sure, I'm just going to use my own method, and we'll go from there. So now we have that out of the way, let's discuss some yarn, because I'm assuming that's what you're here for. Now I have a couple of yarns that I obviously bought with the intention of using in a certain project. So let's get through those first. My very first project will be the zipper sweater by Petite Knit. These are the yarns that I got for that. I've got Drop Selima in this navy color. It's the number 9016. And then I will hold it together with Drop Skid Silk in the color 28. So this will become my zipper sweater. It will definitely be something I want to knit up this year. And if I don't, you are allowed to yell at me. Hello, cat. The second project that I have in mind is the Ingress sweater, and for that I have Hobby's Highland Wool. This is the yarn that I want to use for that. Now this does not meet gauge or anything. I was planning on using mohair with this, but the mohair that I had did not work with it. So there's a cat incoming. Yes. So I'm just gonna hold this together, do gauge swatch, and we'll go from there. That's the plan for this yarn. Just for transparency, this yarn was gifted to me from Hobby for one of their past campaigns. Then I have some yarn that I bought with the intention of a project that is not going to be that project in the end. This is Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino in the color Koala. I originally got this for a write-off by Knitting for Olive, but I since then changed my mind and I will be making the square neck camisole. Alright, so that is this basket. Just move it out the way so we know we've got it done. This is my sock yarn basket, which is getting out of hand, mainly because I've been starting to use the excuse, oh, but it's sock yarn, so you know there will always be projects to make with it because it's sock yarn and I can make socks. How often do I make socks, you may ask? Not that much. So this is the result of that. Now I do have lots of sock projects in mind for this year. Will I get to them all? Probably not, but at least I've got them planned. My original plan was to make one pair of socks every month. Not realistic. So instead I will say one pair of socks every 2 months. So basically a sock per month. That seems doable. So that's my plan. Alright, so let's go through some of my sock plans. Yes, meow. I, for a very long time, have wanted to make the ruffle socks by Petite Knit. And for that I have this Len yarn Diable in this color because I wanted something basic but with not just white, because that seemed boring to me. So this is the yarn that I chose instead. This is the number 725. I also got the same yarn in white, and with that I wanted to make the Belfield socks, which is also a sock with like a little ruffle. That I will be doing that with this white sock yarn. And I have it in one more color, the yellow color way, which is number 2143. And with this I wanted to make the Yolanda socks. Then I've got some sock yarn that is I'm not necessarily going to use for socks. This is Frogmouth Studio Twisty Sock in the color Hairspray. I was started making socks with this and I was like, what am I doing? It's way too pretty to be used for socks. And so instead I will be making the mini mock neck tank by Jessie Made Designs with this yarn, and I'm very excited about it. And I will get onto this as soon as possible because look at this yarn. I'm sorry, but look at those colors. It's so pretty. Some more yarn that I thought was just too pretty to make socks with, and I think it will lend itself really well to the camisole number 7 by My Favourite Things Knitwear. And so that is what I'll be making with this beautiful yarn. And then this is truly the epitome of my color. If you know me, you know me. Green, when it's green, I will buy it, right? You know. So this is just like, yeah, it's so pretty. This is sock yarn by Voswolby, which is a Dutch yarn brand, hand dyed. It's just so pretty. I wanted to make a camisole with this as well. Not 100% sure which one yet, but we'll get there eventually, and it's so good. This is also sock yarn, but it's a 100% merino sock yarn. And again, this is totally my color, so I get why it was picked for me. But because it's 100% merino, I don't know if I want to make socks with this. I don't know if I trust that. Like, it is a sock yarn, if I'm not mistaken. It is a sock yarn. But I'm just not sure if I trust that. So instead I think I'll be making a head out of this. Because, I mean, this is Bedkatu yarn. Also hand dyed in the Netherlands, and this is the color Slade Green. I also have some leftover sock yarn in here that I've used, and some mohair combination that I've used for the winter cabled head. So just some leftovers, and I want to make some mittens out of this. And now I'm gonna quick fire some basic little sock combinations that I've made for just some basic socks. Those were some of the sock combinations that I have in mind. Let's get to the third basket. We'll ignore this basket for now, okay? We'll get there eventually, just not right now. Alright, this is maybe a bit of a weird basket as well. This is basically like sweater / camisole quantities I don't have plans with yet. So the most of this is either just, most of this is yarn that I bought for a specific project that didn't work out, and now it's just here. My cat has a bit of attachment issues, which normally is great because that means she loves cuddling, and right now it's a bit annoying. not gonna lie. Next up is this Friends Extra Fine Merino by Hobby in these colors. I've originally got this for a blanket that I'm making for one of their campaigns, but both these colors just didn't suit the rest of the colors, and so I didn't end up using these. Now I've used some of this for my hipster head by Petite Knit, and I'm thinking about also making one in this color, because I just think these really bright colors are very nice to make hats with, because it's just, you know, an accessory. And I don't think if I were to make a camisole or a t-shirt out of this that I would wear it as much. So that's my plan for now. This is yarn that's also gifted to me by a friend who doesn't want it anymore. This is Hobby Saphira. This is a questionable yarn. It is 55% cotton, 27% wool, and 80% acrylic, and it's incredibly stretchy. I don't know what they put in this yarn that makes it so unbearable, but it's just not great. And I really hope that it will soften up once you've blocked it. And I have knitted up something with this yarn, so I want to look at that and see how it will, like, hopefully it will soften up. And if it does, I think I will make a blanket out of this yarn. If it doesn't, I might just give this away, because I will not use it for anything else if it doesn't soften up. This is some Hobby Kit Silk, Friends Kit Silk. I really wanted to try this yarn out. I got this originally for my Ingress sweater, but it was just a lot browner than it looked on the website, so it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. And now I have a sweater quantity of Kit Silk in this beigey color. I think what I want to do is either get some really nice variegated yarn and hold this yarn with that to kind of mimic the Noro that was used in the terrazzo sweater by Petite Knit, because I really like the way that yarn looks. Or perhaps, this would be wild, I can make a scrap yarn skein and use that with this. Don't know if that would work out, but that would be really cool if it would work out. And then this is all basically all just single skeins that don't have a project. I have some leftover mohair, which, if you know what to do with this, please do let me know, because I'm just like, what do I do with these like little amounts of mohair in different colors? The colors do look great together, but I'm just like, I'm not quite sure what to do with this. So if you have like a project or you know a pattern, then please do feel free to send it to me, and like maybe comment below suggestions, because I'm not sure. Yeah, it's all just like single skeins. I've got a couple of single green skeins that I really want to, that's not green, that I really want to use to make fake plants with, because I have cat. Cat likes eating plants, and so fake plants would be great. It also would mean that I can't kill them, which is a double plus. These are just, I mean, if I were to talk, I'm already filming for like half an hour. If I were to talk through all of this in its entirety, it would just take too long. These are just a couple of skeins that don't really have a great plan yet. I will be like cross-referencing and queuing up the yarn with some projects in my Ravelry queue. So if you do want to know what I will be planning to make with these skeins, then you can follow me on Ravelry and look through that, I suppose. And then this is my duffel basket. This is full of cotton, and I don't knit with cotton. I don't necessarily hate knitting with cotton like a lot of people do. It's just more so that I don't really like the way will turn out, because knitting cuts will a little bit more of a stretchy yarn, in my opinion, than just cotton, because cotton is just not stretchy enough for the things I would want to make with cotton. So this is my crochet basket. This is our cotton that I will probably crochet up instead of knitting up. However, I'm definitely more in a knitting phase at the moment. I don't want to get rid of all of this, because I will for sure be returning to crochet. But until then, I will probably not touch this. So again, I will just be going through Ravelry, see if I can find some patterns that will inspire me to maybe tackle this. But until then, I'll focus on the other projects. Alright friends, it is officially March, which means we can start with our first month of the sashing. And because it's our first month, I thought let's go through all the current works in progresses I have, talk through them, and then we're on the same page and we can actually get started. Alright, so the first work in progress is a work in progress that I can tell you will not be finished this month, because it's a blanket. I've been working on this blanket for almost a year now probably, and with working on I mean I started a year ago and then midway I just stopped. But it is still sort of an ongoing project. I do sometimes make little squares. This is a pattern I'm designing in collaboration with Hobby. This yarn that's in here has been very gifted to me as well by them. It's great, it's really nice and soft. Marble loves it. Whenever I put this down, she will lay on it. It's like a magnet. Anyway, I'm designing this blanket. It's a really nice blanket, but it does take some time. I am really excited with how this works up and how it looks, and I'm really excited for it to be finished. And every time I see it, I just fall in love more and more. But it is just a project that takes quite a lot of effort. It's not difficult, it's just a lot. So I will be working on this throughout the year, and I really hope that at the end of the year we can scratch this one off the work in progress list, because that would also mean a lot of yarn out of my stash, which would be great because that's ultimately the goal. Then, I don't want to talk about this. We will. It's just a bit painful. This is my canvas number 5. I've decided I don't like double knitting. I think it's stupid. Like, why am I not done yet? Why do I now have to do... It just annoys me. Like, this took me a long time to get this far, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm almost done, but you're not. You're not at all. That being said, the weather has been starting to get nice here, and it does make me like a little bit excited to pick this up again. Just a tiny little bit. Maybe I'm just really lazy, but I just don't get it. I'll get over it. I'm sure I'll get over it. I'm just not over it yet. So this will probably also not be picked up this month. Maybe, but don't count on it. This one is a whip, and it's not my fault, okay? I like to put that out there. Maybe it is kind of my fault because I didn't buy enough yarn, but I was really excited about this sweater, and then I realized I was not going to have enough yarn, and I stopped, and then I picked it up again because I wanted to see how much extra yarn I would have to order. And now I'm at the point where I ran out of yarn, like completely out of it. That's all the yarn I've left. And the rest of the sweater is entirely finished. So I'm just waiting for my yarn to get here so I can finish this sweater. It's supposedly arriving today, but they sent that yesterday as well, so that's this sweater. And then the last whip that is my current active whip is my Ingress sweater. This is how far I am at the moment. And I'm really excited about this one. It's great. Like the gauge is way off because I'm not holding it with no hair. So I have to do some calculations. I'm making a 3XL instead of a medium, and then I'm doing all kinds of weird things with the row gauge. What a menace. I decided to continue working on my crochet blanket. These are the squares that I still have that need to be attached. But before I can attach some of these, I need to make some half and half squares, which I've been kind of putting off because it's not difficult, it's just it has a bit more, it asks for a bit more attention than just, you know, the regular ones. So I've made these like train rides and car rides and stuff, and now I have to do some of these half and half ones, which is fine, but yeah, it's something that just needs to be done. So I decided to do that and make some progress on these, so I can hopefully also start incorporating these into the blanket, because I need to make some progress. Okay, so technically speaking, this isn't new. I'm gonna show you, but it's sort of new. If you follow my Instagram, you know that I knitted a sweater number 15 with the cables in a kind of like very light grey, low-key kind of white colour. But I ran out of yarn, and so I bought more yarn, but it was a completely different dye lot, and so I didn't wear the sweater when I finished it. Luckily for me, I have a really good friend that owns a yarn business, hand-dyed yarn business, and so I went over to her and we dyed the sweater. So this is the color it has now. There's definitely still some color difference, but it's way less than it was before, and it's a way more interesting color. It is a very green, which was the intention. It's definitely more wearable now. So I just came home and we discussed that I had to buy more yarn for my porcelain sweater, and for that I bought a singular skein. One. Someone explained to me why it came in this. Like, it's light enough, so it must be one. I just don't understand why they would put it in a box. I forgot they put this in like their own little bag, which is very cute. But also, you could have just put it in an envelope. It looks very yellowish though. Not again! I'm honestly not sure if it's the right color. I don't remember it being so yellow, but I guess it is. I thought we had my sweater 15 situation all over again, and I'm sorry, I cannot be arsed. I think I can deal with this. I'm sure it'll be fine. I refuse to acknowledge that this might be another situation like my sweater 15. I refuse. I am so incredibly excited about this sweater. It's really soft. Like, I love the yarn I've used. I'm a little bit bummed about the color difference, you can definitely tell now. But also, it won't stop me from wearing it because it's just so pretty. Honestly, I just think this is really neat. Alright, party people, don't mind the sweat. I know it's fashionable, I know. I've been picked out for a test knit. I think I told you this. And today I want to get started on swatching. I want to use the Drop 65 Merino that I have in stash. I did also make a Daphne top with this. I'm assuming these 3 skeins are not going to be enough. So I will have to frog this, which is fine because I never wear it. So that is the yarn that I'm going to use for it. I'm very excited about it. First of all, I'm very sorry for this atrocious lighting that is happening right now. But remember when I said that I was testing a pattern? I finished it. I don't know what happened. I just had this like extreme hyper focus and then suddenly it was done. The straps are a little tight, so I'm gonna try to block that out a little bit. But otherwise, I'm really happy with this top. It's so flattering. It's ridiculous. It had this I-cord edge for the neckline, which almost broke me. But I soldiered through and I finished it. Alright, so here's the final top. It is awesome. I know it looks quite small, but that's because it has a lot of negative ease. It's a 2-in-1 because you can wear it like this with the lower neckline, but you can also wear it like this with the higher neckline in front. They both look great. I really like this color actually, especially with like jeans. I think it will look really good. Good basic. The straps blocked out really nicely as well. They're still a little bit tight, but nothing that, you know, nothing too bad. And yeah, I just think it's a great little top. I finished the body for my Ingress sweater. So far it's absolutely great. I really like the fit, I like the length, I like the pattern that I decided to do for the row gauge. Definitely have to figure out what I have to do for the sleeves. I don't know yet, we'll figure it out. Just don't really feel like doing that right now, so this is where we are at right now. I do have one problem. This is all the yarn I have left. So I definitely won't have enough yarn to make this a sweater, but I guess I'll just have to get more yarn to finish it because I want it to be a sweater. It's literally as simple as that. I'll just continue with the yarn that I have and then we'll go from there. But I think we're doing great. Okay, so let's discuss numbers. I don't know what happened. March just flew by and we're ready with our first month of destashing. So I figured let's discuss what we accomplished. Let's start with finished objects, shall we? First things first, my porcelain sweater. I am ridiculously excited about this sweater. It's so pretty. I've been already wearing it. It's really soft. I love the yarn that I've used. For the sake of time, I won't be mentioning every fibre in everything I've made. But if you do ever want to know, my ruffle is linked in the description and all that information is in there. So you can always check that out. So my porcelain sweater took up 12 skeins fair warning, I don't know what happened. I thought I had 240 skeins, but I definitely have more. Maybe I just discovered more yarn laying around, or I don't know what happened. It's fine though, because like, I figured the exact amount out right now. If I do find more yarn, I will write it down and we'll know where it comes from. And then my second finished object of the month is my 6-in-1 top pattern test I did for Oops and Loops. I love it. It looks a bit weird when it's just, you know, when I'm holding it up, because it has so much negative ease. It looks very small. But it's very stretchy and it's extremely flattering once it's on. So this one is a bit weird. Even though this top used up 3 skeins, because I gained grams from the frogging of the previous top, this one actually only took out 1 skein out of my stash, because I also gained yarn. I don't know if that makes sense. The Daphne top used 110 grams, so once I frogged that, I had 110 grams more in my stash. And then I've used 160 grams in this. So that would be 3 skeins, but because I gained 2 skeins, it's only 1. You know, to keep things easy. On the needles currently is my Ingress sweater. It's very nearly finished. I need to finish my first sleeve and then do the second sleeve and then we're done. But this is the last scheme we have, so we'll have to figure out what to do about that this month. I guess I'll just have to, I have to get more yarn because I'm not going to make it with the yarn I have. We'll deal with that once we get there. I think that's the main project I have on the needles right now. I do still have my camisole number 5 on the needles as well. If I'm being honest, probably won't get to that this month because I don't want to. And I don't want to force myself to work on something that I am not enjoying to work on at the moment. I think that just kind of defeats the whole purpose. Sure, I don't like to have many whips at once, but I also feel like we should be kinder to ourselves. And just, if you don't feel like knitting something, then knitting on something else or crocheting or starting a new project is totally fine. So I finished the first sleeve of my Ingress. I have probably about 20 grams left, if it's even that, of my yarn. Now what I can do is pick up for the second sleeve and start the second sleeve until this is finished, but I think what I'm gonna do is just put it to the side for now until I have more yarn and then cast on for the second sleeve. For now, I am really happy with how this sweater is turning out. Very unfortunate for the sleeve situation, but it is what it is. Can't really do anything about that at the moment. So I'll get more yarn and we'll continue working on this one. Oh, lovely. I've started on a pair of socks because my goal of the year was to at least finish 1 pair of socks every 2 months. So basically a sock per month, and so far I finished 1 pair of socks this year. And we're in the 4th month now, so that means I have to finish the 2nd pair. So I started it. This is how far I am right now. Oh, it's so cute! So what I'm gonna be doing, because it's with scrap yarn, so with leftovers that I received from a friend. I'm pretty sure I received this yarn from a friend. It's, I think, Drops Fable. So what I did is I split the yarn that I had in 2. And so now I am going to knit up this sock until I run out of yarn here and then put in the toe and do an afterthought heel, so I can get so I can use all the yarn that I have. I don't know if this is going to be enough for both the ankle and like the heel and the toes. So what I might do is do the heel first and then the toes maybe in a different color, because you won't see my toes in my socks anyway when I'm wearing them in my shoes, and you might get little glimpse of the heel, so I'd rather have the heel in the same color, if that makes sense. So I finished my sock tube. It looks very small. It is definitely gonna be a short sock, but I mean, I kind of expected that already. That's why I split the yarn. I'm currently working on my second tube, and then I will be putting in the heel. Usually I don't do a true afterthought heel though, because usually I put in some scrap yarn. But because I didn't know how far I would get with the yarn, I didn't. So I could get the best, like the most out of it. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. That's something new and exciting for me. They're nice though. They're Drops Fable with I think this is Len Yarn Yabble. They're both scraps. I got this at a yarn swap from somebody. As I was told, I was like, how did I get this yarn? I wasn't sure. I was like, I'm sure I was sure that I didn't buy it myself. I knew I was gifted it by someone. I just didn't quite remember who it was and how. Alright, so these are my sock tubes. I marked the heel placement. My friend will actually be setting up the afterthought heel for me because I am scared. I've never done it like this. I usually just use scrap yarn, and I don't know, it's scary. So she will be setting it up for me because she's an angel. I have one sock yarn here to determine what's going to be the heel color. I was thinking using this one because this is also Len Yarn's Yabble, so it's the same yarn as the pink one, and it has yellow, like the sock yarn has yellow in it already, so I think this is gonna be it. Maybe there's another option, color cast. I mean, you could always do white, but that's kind of boring, isn't it? Ooh. Yeah. I'll be using this one because I won't be able to make anything else than heels out of this anyway, so yeah, this is great. Alright, so I finished the first pair of socks for the month. I'm actually really happy with them. I know I said I was gonna do the heel first because I knew I wasn't gonna have enough yarn, but I didn't. I lied. But I actually think this looks great. Like, look at the little yellow heel. I think it's actually really fun. It's giving Scrappy sock vibes, because that's what it is, and it's fine. They fit really, really great. I actually did the afterthought heel myself. I was gonna ask my friend to do it for me because I was scared, but I did it myself. It was actually fun. Really not that big of a deal. We'll definitely be doing this in the future. So I finished these. These have like one skein in total in them. They're actually longer than I thought they would be, so that's also fun. Okay, so I don't think I've actually properly talk to you about this project yet. This is the mini mock neck tank by Jessie May Designs, and the yarn I'm using is Twisty Sock by Fruitmouse Studios, which is the yarn brand of my friend. So definitely check them out, they're great. Look at this yarn though, like, oh, it's so beautiful. This is the right side, technically, and this is the wrong side, but I think I might actually prefer this side, so I'm gonna try and make this tank reversible. Okay, so I frogged the increases for my mini mock neck tank, and I'm only on 10 centimeters when I'm supposed to be on like 22, so I'm just like, I don't think this pattern is gonna happen. I think I'm gonna frog this project and make something else with this yarn. I really wanted to go to like the perfect project because it's such pretty yarn, so it's sad, but we'll be fine. I will survive. I think I will hate myself if I don't do this. So, time to frog. So I'm currently editing this video and I realized I haven't actually told you anything about this project I'm about to show you. So I whipped out my crochet hook for the very first time in a long time because I still owed a friend a birthday present, and they really wanted to like summer crochet crop top kind of type of vibe. Alright, so I finished the top for my friend. I'll have to see if it fits right, and then I'll add some more details, but this is the basic layout of the top. I think it's really cute. I really like the color as well. I used my own pattern for this. It's called the Cold Shoulder Bralette. It's on free pattern actually on Ruffle, so if you want to make it, you can do that. I did use half double crochets for the cups instead of single crochets, and I did some mesh rows, which is double crochet, chain 2, skip 1 stitch, and then double crochet, and just repeat that until the end of the row. I did not put it eyelets because I'm lazy. I just weaved the back the lace into the already existing double crochet stitches because if it works, it works, okay? So what I'm thinking, I'm either gonna start my zipper sweater, maybe, or I want to reuse this yarn that I used for a cardigan that didn't quite fit me right because of gauge issues, so I frogged it. But I do want to make another cardigan out of this yarn because it's stunning, it's so nice. It's the Malabrigo Chunky yarn, I believe, in the color apple green, and it's a stunning yarn. I just need to find a nice project for it. Alright, so I started on the bulky weight cardigan. I couldn't really find a pattern that I liked, so I am just making it up as I go. Alright, so I casted on the cardigan in the Malabrigo yarn. And then I decided I was never gonna have enough yarn because it was quite an oversized cardigan. And then I decided I don't want a cardigan because the only cardigan I want I don't have enough yarn for, and I don't want to buy more yarn. I just don't want to. So, pulled it back, started something else, decided I didn't really like it either. And I think the first 100 meters of this yarn have been in about 600 projects at this point. And I'm losing my mind. So I'll be putting this yarn on hold for a second. Basically, I've been knitting for the past week for absolutely nothing. Which is fine, it is part of the hobby, so it is what it is. Yesterday was my birthday. And Myrthe very kindly gifted me some yarn. Normally I'd be kind of annoyed because I'm trying to do stuff, right? But it's Myrthe, and Myrthe can do no wrong. Let me show you what I got.
So the first skein is this like really bright blue and pink combination, and then I picked the second skein to go with that to create a very nice own design. And then this is the final skein that I am not quite sure what I'm gonna do with yet.
I haven't done a lot of knitting because, first of all, I've been feeling horrendous for the past couple of days, as you can hear. But I'm also just have been focusing on doing some math for the top that I'm working on. So this is gonna be one of my new designs. If it works out, I am skeptical. So this is the top right now. I hope it's gonna work out. I'm not 100% sure it will, but we'll see. So I continued on my top. This pattern is breaking my brain though. It's because I'm ratchet it myself, right? And I have a vision. I promise I have a vision. I can't seem to make my vision work. I will. Don't worry, I will. I just have to do it in another way than I planned, which is fine. It's just different. So my brain broke. I think. Yeah. I think it should still work. So I'm aware of how freaking crazy this top looks right now, but we're getting somewhere, and it is definitely a trust the process kind of knit. But this is where I am at right now. It looks really, really stupid, I know, I am aware, and you probably still can't tell what it's supposed to look like, but it's like a crisscross top, so you know, it will only start looking the way it's supposed to look like once you actually have some coverage. Also, it's just on a very small cable, so it's not going to look right anyway. I probably will not have enough yarn, but the bright side of having a friend with a yarn dyeing business is that she can just make more. So that is what we're hoping on. Maybe I somehow magically have enough, but I do not see that being the case, because this is what I have, and I'm like halfway through the repeats, but maybe. I've been surprised before. Alright, so I've been knitting on my design for a little bit. I knew I wasn't gonna have enough yarn, and I was right. I promise this doesn't always happen to me. I don't know what's going on in these like past couple projects, but it's a curse, I guess. I promise you it doesn't always happen to me. I also was thinking on casting on something for Mother's Day. Mother, if you are watching, no you're not. You're clicking off right now. Goodbye. Goodbye. I have this skein, right, that I dyed myself and got for my birthday from Mirta. And my mom's favorite color is purple. And so I was thinking I wanted to use this for a project for her. And I think I'm gonna be making a shawl because I think she will like that. I hope. So yeah, I think that's gonna be my next project because Mother's Day is in like 2 weeks. So time to cast on. April was my birthday month, so I gained 3 skeins. No, I gained 6 because there were 3 100-gram skeins. Actually, most of them are kind of already sort of used up, so let's discuss that. First things first, my Ingress sweater. I finished the first sleeve with the yarn that I had left. So this is how far I'm so far. Need one more sleeve. This is the yarn I have left, but I will start on this sleeve once I have an extra skein so I can actually finish it. So that the needles that I would have on this project otherwise are free. I am not subtracting any yarn for this project yet because it's not finished. So even though we worked on this month, no skeins out of stash for this one yet. The second project I worked on were my socks. So these are my Scrappy socks. They didn't turn out the way that I expected them to turn out, but I actually really like the way that they're looking. So I thought they would be way shorter because I was working with just little scraps of yarn. But they're actually quite long, right? I've used all of this yarn, and also all of the pink yarn. So basically all the scraps that I had left of the yarns that are in here are used up, which is great. So in total this project took up 56 grams, so about a skein. And I actually really like it. They're cute. This is the top that I made for a friend of mine. Her birthday was in the beginning of the year and I still owed her a birthday present because I wanted to make something for her but I wasn't quite sure what. And so I just ended up asking her if she had anything in mind, and she did. And so she showed me some pictures and this is what we ended up with. I love this top, it's great, it suits her really well. The only thing I have to do is weave in some ends. I'm gonna weave in the ends and then actually give it to her. It's a bit covered in cat hair, but I'm sure she won't mind. So this is my second finished project and the last for this month as well. And this one used up 102 grams, so 2 skeins in total, which means that in total this month we used up 3 skeins. And as I said, I added 6, so 3 skeins more than we had last month. So we started this month with 236 skeins and we ended with 239, which I think is fine because, once again, it was my birthday. I'm not too fussed about it. Also because, technically speaking, this is a really hard project to show you, but this is a design I'm working on with 2 of the yarns that I received for my birthday. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna see what I'm intending it to be until it's actually finished. Anyway, this is the project. I actually ran out of this blue yarn, so I'm gonna have to ask Mirta for some more. So basically, this entire skein is out of stash as well, but I can't count my yet, so that's also why I'm not too fussed about it. I have a lot of projects that are nearly finished. I frogged a lot this month. I had a period where I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And so, all in all, I think we did pretty good this month with that in mind. This one is not finished yet, so no yarn out of stash, but I do think I'll probably be able to finish this next month, which is exciting. Alright, and then the last project that I started on this month is a project for my mother. So my mom's favorite color is purple, and so when I got this skein for my birthday, I was like, okay, that's perfect, right? So this is just a very, very basic shawl that I'm working on. I think it's a free pattern on Ruffle. I think it's called the Simple Shawlette or something like that. I'll link it in the description as always. But yeah, that's this one, and definitely will be finishing this next month because my parents will come back to Netherlands at the end of the month, and so present needs to be finished by then. So that's this one. We are starting the month with 239 skeins. These are 50-gram skeins. And the plan is to finish some work in progresses, so I can actually scratch up a lot of yarn I've technically already used, if that makes sense. I really want to finish my Ingress sweater this month. So I need to get more yarn for that because I still haven't done that. And then just have to finish the first sleeve, or the last sleeve. And then we have a fully worked up sweater, which deletes like 7, 8 skeins out of stash. I'll have to look that up because I'm not sure from the top of my head. And then maybe, perhaps, May will be the month in which I finish my camisole number 5. So this is my camisole number 5. All I have to do for this one is do the double knitting section. But I don't like double knitting. I've been putting this on hold for a while, so maybe May is the month that I'll get to it. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm not feeling as opposed to it anymore. So might get to this, and then I also really want to finish my new design. There's about 2.5 skeins in here already, but I need to get more yarn in to be able to finish this one. So I'm gonna go ask my friend if she can dye some more, and then I hope to be able to finish this one this month as well. That would be great. And I'm like nearly finished with this one as well, so we would probably have like 14 skeins, almost 14 skeins out of stash if we were able to finish all these 3 projects this month, which I feel like it should be doable. I'm not quite sure about my camisole number 5. I do feel like it's gonna be that last project, but we'll see. Cat, are you kidding me? And then I also have my Mother's Day gift that I'm working on, which is, technically speaking, I finished the pattern. but I think I still have some yarn left, so I think I'll just add some more length to it now. So I'll just be knitting back and forth until my yarn runs out basically, which would mean that there are 2 skeins out of stash with this project, and that's definitely gonna happen this month. I feel very good for this month. I feel very positive. Last month we gained 3 skeins, but most of them are in these current projects, so yeah, it's fine. I feel really good about this month. I think it's gonna be great, and yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so I picked up my camisole number 5. Are you proud of me? I'm proud of me. I decided to rip back the little bit of double knitting that I did because I was starting on it. I was like, no, I don't want it. I don't want to do it. And so I ripped it back, and now I'm just going to do a folded neckline and folded armholes because it looks unravelly, and really the difference is so small in like the way it looks, and so big in the amount of distress it causes me. So you know what, we're just gonna do this, and if I ever happen to feel like doing double knitting, I can always rip it out and do it again. Probably won't, because this seems fine to me, but yeah, we'll see. I'm almost done with the folded neckline, and now I'll cast it up and see what I think, but I think this is gonna be fun, honestly. Alright, so as I said in the last video of destashing, I had a lot of projects that were newly finished, and so we're about 5 days into May, and I've already finished 2 projects, so I wanted to show those to you. The first one is my mom's present. It's this shawl. So this one used up 100 grams, so 2 skeins. And I do really like the way this yarn works up in this project. I think it's really, really nice. And then the second project is my camisole number 5. I am low-key kind of pissed that I waited so long to finish this one, because in the end it really was not that difficult. Because instead of the double knitting, I chose to just do a folded edge and put in some elastic, and it works great. It's perfect, it fits great, and I do genuinely think I'm gonna be wearing this a lot in the summer, so I'm glad that I finished it now, and then we can find a new project to work on, because I'll be getting the yarn for my crossover top this weekend, and the yarn for the Ingress sweater I still have to order, so yeah, I can't work on this project right now, so yeah, I'll just cast on a quick one, I think, maybe a pair of socks. Alright, update. It's been a couple days, so I finished the front section and the back section, and I just joined it in the round. So yeah, we are now knitting in the round. I actually think it's looking really, really good with this yarn. I really, really like it. This is hobby yarn, I got on Black Friday. I think it's just called Hobby Black Friday Cotton. Alright, so today is Saturday the 18th of May and we're gonna go to a yarn fair with Mirta. We got some yarn a couple days back for this yarn fair. Yeah, I'm gonna go there. I don't need anything. Okay, I don't need anything. I will say I have the sweater quantity of mohair, and I really want like a Noro-esque kind of yarn. I know some vendors I think carry Noro, so if there happens to be something that I really fall in love with that I can use with that mohair, I might allow myself to buy it, because I mean that way I can also use the mohair, so it's kind of like a win-win, you know. But that's all, okay? If there's anything I'll buy, it's that. If I don't buy that, I won't buy anything, okay? Remember when I said I wasn't going to come back with anything unless it was Noro yarn? I lied. It looks worse than it is, I promise. I've been wanting to learn how to spin my own yarn for a while. And Mirta knows how to spin. And she was willing to teach me how to spin. She's like, well, if you want to learn how to spin, you'll need some fibre to spin. It's like, yeah. That's a good point. And so she got me this as a thank you for, I guess, the yarn dyeing and me being there today. Obviously didn't have to do that, but I'm really thankful that she did. So I've got two colours. So I've got 300 grams of this fibre. Look at it. And then 400 of this color. It's like it's not white. It looks white. It's like a beigey, very light pink, to fly with the rainbow yarn. And I am excited. But yeah, if I do manage to get started this month or next month or whenever, I'll obviously will show it to you guys. Because I'm really excited about it. I'm debating if I'm gonna put it as like in stash, because it isn't. It's not like yarn yet, right? It's fibre to make yarn with. So I think I'm gonna put it into my stash as I spin it, because I think that's, I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I might just put it in now to be done with, but it also, like, it isn't yarn, so it's a bit of like a weird little situation, but I'll figure it out. Alright, so I told you I was going to take you along with the journey. I didn't, because I got way too excited and way too into it and focused, and it was very challenging at the beginning, but I just hanged up my first yarn that I made. Here it is. I think, obviously it's not perfect, but I think for first try, this is actually pretty solid. So Mirta lent me her electric spinning wheel, so I don't have to think about my feet and my fingers at the same time. I can just focus on my fingers, and I think I kind of have it down now. So that's exciting. Don't know what I'm gonna do with this. So it is 22-ish grams, 20 grams of yarn. So I don't know what I'll be doing with this. I'll probably just be making a swatch and put it on my swatch wall, because this is so special to like preserve my first little spin. So far, I'm liking this, which is dangerous because I do not need another hobby. But I think I found another hobby. Thought I would update you because it's been a while. First things first, I made more yarn. So this is like the actual fiber that I got from here that I showed you earlier in this video. So I applied the rainbow together with the basic color, and I think it is absolutely stunning. So this is about 80 grams. Which kind of hurts my soul a little bit because this took me a while to make, right? Just 80 grams, and I have, how much do I have? A lot, like a sweater quantity. So it's gonna take me a while, but I think it's also, that's just part of spinning. That's just the way it is, you know? But I think it is really, really pretty, and I can't wait to start on that sweater. So this is my canvas of 4. I don't know if I actually really talked about this one, but this is my canvas of 4. I've made this before in the Mitten for Olive pure silk. Controversially, I don't really like that yarn. It also just doesn't wear quite well, in my opinion. So yeah, I don't really wear that one because it's also quite short, and it just didn't really work out. This is in the hobby cotton, Black Friday hobby cotton. Technically this is a limited edition yarn, but I am fairly certain this is very similar to there. I think it's got rainbow cotton. So yeah, I think it's fairly similar. I mean, don't quote me on that because I've never used it, but I would imagine it is comparable. So yeah, it is really nice though. It's a really nice cotton, very soft, quite stretchy actually for cotton. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not wool, but for cotton it is a really nice cotton. So yeah, I did about 15 centimeters of the body. Probably gonna add like 5 to 10 more centimeters. Don't know what the pants are. I think 25 centimeters. And I think I'll just actually follow the pattern this time, because I quite like this one to be a little flowy and longer than my usual summer tops, because usually I just crop everything, but I think this one will lend itself well to being a bit longer. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. I finished my canvas number 4, as you can see. I like it a lot. I like it a lot better than my first canvas number 4. I just like the fiber better because I made the first one in Knitting for Olive pure silk, and this is in the hobby cotton. It's just a 100% cotton yarn, and it's just, for me, it feels much better. So it's definitely a little bit more wavy, like it's less light. So if you really want a summer fiber, I would go with silk, but for me this is perfect. It looks better in my opinion. So I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I also quite like the colour, so good basic. And then I started on a new pair of socks because, as I said, I was travelling, so and I knew this one was gonna be finished pretty soonish, so I wanted to bring this along with me so I could start a sock if I run out of something to work on, and I did. So this is the sock we are currently working on. It's gonna be just a basic sock because this is quite a interesting yarn by itself. I really like basic socks. I think these are, genuinely speaking, the most comfortable, and I just really like to have a very basic project to work on while I do other things to just like mindlessly knit. I think that is great. So the light blue is the Rock Top Sock Mini. I got this yarn for my birthday from Lisa. And then the main sock yarn is a Boots sock yarn. I can't remember the full name. I'll put it on the screen or in the description. And this is yarn that I also got for my birthday last year. Which says enough. I got these both on my birthday last year. I am really liking the way it turns out. It's definitely a bit different from what I usually would do. But I like it. I think it's fun. It's very summery. And I like it so far. I think I'm just gonna do a sock tube again because I think that's just the easiest and I don't have to think about it, and I like that. So that's what I'm working on right now. Let's discuss finished projects, how much yarn I've used. First things first, I've talked about the shawl that I made for my mum and my camisole number 5. They both took approximately 2 skeins out of stash, so together that's 4 skeins out of stash. So yeah, that is this one. And the shawl I've already given away. And then my third finished object is a bit silly, but as I said, I've spun yarn this month for the first time, and I think I concluded that I want to put in the yarn in my stash as I make it. And so the first yarn that I spun was about 20 grams, so I put that in my stash, and I made a swatch with this, just so I can basically keep hold of this forever, put it on my swatch wall, and enjoy it for a while. So this is because I need to take out the yarn out of stash in a project. This is now a project. It doesn't really matter because I counted in 20 into stash and then 20 out, so it's just, you know, a little square. And then my last finished object of the month is my camisole number 4. It looks a bit big, but it actually fits really great and very nice, exactly how I envisioned it. The straps are made 20 centimeters long. They will stretch out a little bit more, and then the body is 25, which is, I think, about 2 centimeters longer than what the pattern calls for the medium size. This took up 115 grams, but I also gave some yarn away to a friend. Let me look how much that was. 171 grams I gave away to a friend, and in total we've used up 10 skeins this month, which I think is really, really good. And by used up, I just mean out of stash, because the 3 bowls that I gave away, obviously I haven't used, but they're not in stash anymore. So yeah, we are now on a total of 229 skeins. I finished my first sock tube, so all I have to do for this one is button the heel. I was debating whether to do that first and then move on to the second sock, or just move on to the second sock, and as you can see I did the latter. So that is my current main project. However, I have been chosen to do a test knit for Andrea from Looks and Looks again. I think last month or 2 months ago I did the 6-in-1 top for her, which I just really liked. I liked the way she did her testing. I think she was very kind, very understanding, and it just was a lot of fun. And I haven't really been in the testing sphere for a very long time, so it was nice to get back into it, and yeah, I enjoy it myself, so I figured why not do it again. So I was thinking of making it in this combination of yarn. So this is a yarn that I thrifted quite a long time ago. I really like this colour, and supposedly this is 50 grams, 150 meters, and I have 2 of these, and then I have some Shechemaya Catania yarn, just in a, it's not bright white, but it's, I thought this was going to be the combo of yarn that we would try out, and yeah, I think I'm going to cast that on. Right, so yesterday I started on my test knit. Originally I was gonna make it the top white with green stripes, just because I have more of the white, but I made a swatch and it just didn't feel quite right. So instead I'm making the top green with white stripes. I finished the back panel yesterday, and then this morning I casted on the left front, finished that, and now I'll be moving on to the right front, finish the front, and then we can knit in around. So I think my test knit top, it has turned out very cute. I wish I could have made it a little bit longer, but I don't have yarn, so you know, can't do that. But I'm excited. I really like the colours that I chose. So again, originally I was planning on making it white with green stripes, because I had more of the white yarn, and maybe fit-wise it would have been better if I did that, because then I could have made it a little longer than it is now. However, I just like this colour combo way better. I mean, it's the same colour combo, but the green yarn is now the main colour instead of the white one, and I just think it looks way better. So I'm happy I did what I did. I will be blocking it, and then I will also be looking for a new project once again. Cannot work on the Ingress sweater and the crossover top because I still don't have the yarn. I should really get to that, but yeah, I will someday. I am debating, am I just focusing on my spinning? However, I notice that spinning kind of hurts my fingers a little bit if I do it for long periods of time, or I start the loofah sweater, but here's the thing, the loofah sweater that I want, I really like the way the loofah sweater works up, right? The long neckline and the long ribbing, I like the way that looks, but I think the sweater itself is designed for wearing yarn, sport weight yarn. I don't know, I have a bulky weight yarn that I think would look really good with those design elements, and so if I were to make the loofah sweater, I would have to do some calculations, which would be fine, but I'm not sure if I feel kind of feel that vibe right now. So yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. Alright, so there are a couple of things that I need/want to do. First things first, I really want to finish my socks that I have on the needles right now. I don't remember when I last showed you this, but I finished the first sock tube, and then yesterday I went to Mitten, had like a knitting day, and basically finished almost the entire second sock tube. So over halfway done, and I definitely want to finish this. Maybe I can finish this today, so my needles are free, because, I mean, not the needles, it's mainly the cable that I really want free, because I want to make some socks for my dad. So yesterday I dyed some yarn with Mitten, well, at Mitten's, for my dad for Father's Day. It's DK sock yarn, it's very nice, very soft. This yarn is like ridiculously soft. And then I dyed some yarn for the crossover top. So if you see my previous episodes, you know that I ran out of yarn for this top. Once again, I'm gonna try to show you, but you're probably not gonna be able to see what it is. I mean, so I need more of that blue color, and so I dyed some yarn. It's close enough. So I want to cake this up. So I've definitely been slacking with the knitting this month. I mean, it's exam season, so I've been studying and just not really knitting as much as I would want to. But I'm almost done with my second sock tube. And then I think once I have the sock tube done, I should probably put in the heels and call it a day. But actually, no, I'll probably first do just the heel and then cast on the socks for my dad, because I still have, how many days? 6? Still have 6 days, which should be enough for DK socks. Probably. Alright, so yesterday was knitting night. I finished the socks. Let me see. I finished the pair of socks. Very cute. I like them a lot. Just have to put in the heels, so I did that last night. And then I did finish the first tube for the socks of my dad, but it turned out that they were quite short, so I'm gonna do unpick the toe, and I'm just gonna knit up until half of it is gone. So this is all I have left for the first sock. I'm gonna just knit up until this is gone, and then I'm gonna use a different color for the toe and the heel. Here's the thing, this is DK sock yarn. I don't think I have any DK sock yarn left. So I'm just gonna hold a fingering yarn double, I guess. So yeah, so we need to pick a nice little color that goes with this. So I got my sock yarn basket. So is this the, no it's not, it's fingering. So we could do a base of white, could work. I do also have some blues, but I'm afraid it's gonna look a little weird because it's like close but not close enough. I mean, I do also have like light blue, that could work. I don't love it. Bright blue, no. I have so many blue, it's like actually ridiculous. I think this would be closest to it, but I think this is weird because it's like really close but not it. that could have worked if it wasn't for my dad. So far I'm thinking the basic whites might be the best option, or the light blue is cute, maybe. I think I'm gonna go with the blue. So I finished the socks. They look absolutely ridiculous because why is this so long? So this is just a DK weight sock, basic sock. I did the afterthought heel again because that's just my preferred method. I like it. I like that I can just, you know, keep on knitting. So yeah, that's these. It's the Mouse Studio DK sock yarn. I think it's called Twisty Sock DK. I'm not sure if this is officially out yet. My intention was just to make the sock with just the DK, but that would have meant they were gonna be like ankle socks. They're quite short as it is, but yeah, they would have been like this long, which is not really the vibe I'm going for my dad, you know. Instead, I did the heel and the toe in a different color. I didn't have any other DK weight yarn, so just held this yarn, the twisty sock, like the actual fingering weight base. I held that double, and I actually quite like it. Not gonna lie, it does bother me that there's no little incorporation of the color in the cuff. But that's just something I'm gonna have to deal with, and I don't have to wear them anyway, so it's fine. I really like this yarn. I also love DK. I think DK weight socks are my new favorite. They just feel very structured, like they feel like good quality socks, you know, and it just goes by way faster. So yeah, second pair done for this month. And I think also the last one for this month, because I cannot see another sock for a long time. I hope my dad likes them. I hope they fit. If it doesn't fit, then well, that's a problem for another day. I think my next project is going to be the crossover top. Finishing that one. Yesterday I costed off the crossover top and seamed the side seams, and now I'm doing some I-cord edging to the panels so it doesn't roll up as much when I wear it. I did the upper part here, this side, and then I started on the bottom of this panel, which goes, it's weird construction, so bear with me, but it goes all around here, down the bottom of the top, and I did the back of that bottom, of the entire top basically, and then now I'm moving to the second front panel, the bottom, so I have to do from here all the way down to this section here, and then I still need to do the top section of the second front panel as well. But I am actually really happy with how it's going. Alright, so I just finished the crossover top. I am pretty pleased with how it turned out. It definitely needs some tweaks, but that is a problem for later, because I don't feel like doing that right now. But I don't have another project to work on right now. Can you believe it? I have my Ingress letter that I need to finish, but I don't have the yarn yet, so I can't work on that. But it's time to cast on something new. I personally do not feel like knitting a fingering weight garment at the moment, because that's all I've been doing, I feel like. So I instead am gonna do something else, I think. Don't know what yet. So yeah, I agree. You wanna come over here? Say hi? Friends. This is cat number 2. You don't really see her a lot. This is Paris. I decided to cast on a quick little bandana with some leftover yarn. I just love this yarn combo. It's so good. Like, so yeah, I am really pleased. So last time I talked to you, I just finished my bandana, and after that I casted on something new. Now I have to say, it's a bit boring, at least so far. So this is the 7 p.m. tank? 7 p.m. tank. I think it has a very interesting construction. Just the start is a bit of a drag. So yeah, but that's what I've been working on. Because it's a bit of a drag, I did also start a quick little side project. Like a year ago, made a crochet string of pearls, and I still had like a single skein of green laying around, and so I made some vines. So the first thing I finished this month was the Costa Nova tank, which was a pattern test I did for Oops and Loops on Instagram. This is how it turned out. As you can see, it is quite short, which was because of the fact that I made this with only stash yarn, and so this is all the yarn I had left. So it was what it was. I still really like it. Again, a bit short for my liking, but I will still wear it with like maybe a tank or something underneath it. For this tank, I used approximately 200 grams of yarn. So yeah, nice little stash buster. I really like the shape of this tank. It's very, very easy. I also really like the neckline, which is a weird thing to like really focus on, but I do really like the 4x1 rib. It's a bit different. Yeah, I'm very pleased with this tank, and actually thinking about making another one of these. My second project of the month was my third pair of socks for the year, because we're halfway through the year, so 6 divided by 2 is 3. So yeah, my third pair of socks for the year. Very fun, funky, fresh. I like them a lot. This yarn is, I think, a cotton-based yarn, so it's a bit different from the socks I usually knit. It was a bit more splitty, not gonna lie about that, but that makes sense with the cotton that's in there. It wasn't too bad, so yeah, I like these a lot. These used up 83 grams in total. But we have more because I also made socks for my dad. Again, these are DK weight socks. Very fun and funky, very much dad socks. Like, is this not the most dad sock you've ever seen in your entire life? It's given hiking sock, and I like it. I hope my dad will like them. I'll give them to him this weekend. So I'm hoping he's not watching this video before then. This I used up 118 grams. Then, a project I don't have with me is the crossover tank that I was working on, which was my own design. Now, technically, I did finish it. But as I said, I think before, as I mentioned before, it definitely needed some tweaking. And so I forked most of this project. And so this project used up 166 grams. But I basically forked most of it. And so I just also added that amount of yarn back into stash. So no real progress on that one. But I do also have a very cute little bandana. This was such a fun project, by the way. Very easy, very fun, funky, fresh. I really enjoyed working on this. So I definitely want to get into crocheting a bit more. I'm just not sure, I don't really have a lot of patterns. Actually, I have no patterns that I actually really actively want to make. So if you have any suggestions, then please do feel free to comment down below, because again, I really do enjoy the process of crocheting. It's just, I can't really find a project that I want to make. So suggestions are welcome. This used up 43 grams. And then one last project I did was some crochet vines up there. And those took up 18 grams. So yeah, that was also a very fun, quick little project. And then works in progresses, I am still working on the 7 PM tank. Again, not much to see yet, but I'll continue working on this next month. So hoping to see some progress. So in total, I finished 5 projects this month. 2 of which were very quick, very small projects, like the bandana and the vines. But there were projects nonetheless. And in total, I used up 1,309 grams. But I added 441. And you're like, Karlijn, that crossover top was 166. Where did the other come from? I totally forgot to show you this, but when I was at Myrta's, she was destashing, or she was going through a stash and getting rid of some things, and I may or may not have picked up a few skeins. I got some Pletsilothi. So this is about 90 grams and this is 40 grams. I could not say no to this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but if you have any ideas, again, feel free to comment. This is Back2 yarn. I think this is 100% merino, a hand-dyed little ball of yarn. Again, don't know what I'm going to do with this, but like, again, could not say no to that. And then this is a skein of merino, and I have many skeins of merino like these in my stash, so I figured if I'm going to do Scrappy projects, I can involve this one. And then I also have some one skein of silk mohair, very pretty as well. And yeah, again, I have a lot of single skeins or like leftovers of mohair, so one more skein in the color palette that is actually like, it will work in the color palette. I could not say no to that either. So got some new yarns. Should I have said no? Maybe. But also I didn't want to, so yeah, that was everything for the month of June. I have now 10,600 grams of yarn in total, which I think is pretty solid. At the beginning of the year we started with 12,000 grams, and we're now on 10,600. So I actually think, can't be delusional, I actually think that's really solid. We would be even further down if I didn't add more yarn to my stash, but I did. Sue me. Anyway, if we divide that by 50, we have 212 skeins in stash. So my goal to get under 200 is definitely doable. So last month I left you with only one whip, which is kind of crazy if you ask me. and that is the 7 p.m. tank. So this is what I was working on. Very, very pretty. I love this yarn. It's a bit of a drag because this is gonna be the body panel, so I'm gonna have to make this as long as basically the size of my body all around. So I'm about almost halfway because obviously it's like stretchy and stuff. I'm kind of hoping to be able to finish this tomorrow-ish, so I can actually get started on the fun part of this top, because this is a bit of a drag. So yeah, that is what I'll be working on in this video. Probably more things, but I don't know yet, so yeah, I guess you have to keep on watching to find out. So for some reason I just can't get myself to knit, which I've had before, and I think during this transition time to summer that's actually quite regular, or like a quite common occurrence among people. But yeah, I don't really know what it is, and I'm trying to figure out if it's the project I'm working on or if it's literally just the knitting. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast on a new project, maybe with bigger needles, because I think that might also be partially the problem, and then see if that helps anything. In other news, I did do a lot of spinning over the past couple of days because I haven't been doing any knitting. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 singles, which I have to apply together, but I want to first just single up everything. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, but I do kind of want to knit, so we'll see. Also, don't mind the background. The background is a bit of a mess. I'm a bit of a mess, so it's fine, it's fitting. So I casted on this pattern today. I don't remember the name of the pattern, but it's a free pattern released by Hobby, with 2 strands of their silk mohair. Now this is not their silk mohair, this is Drops Alpaca Silk. I had this yarn in my stash for so long. This was originally meant to, well, originally it was meant for a crochet top, and then that didn't work out, so I bought more so I could make a sweater with it. But that also didn't work out, so since then it's just been sitting in my stash, and I've tried a couple of things, but none of it worked out. It's like, okay, maybe this yarn is just not for me and what I tried to do. And to be honest, I still think that way, so I probably won't ever be buying this yarn ever again, even though it's like really soft. Maybe it's like a strand of mohair, but yeah. But that pattern just kind of gave me the idea that I can make this. So this is sort of like the Cloud Sway by Petite Knit. If that gives you an idea, it's just a very simple raglan sweater with some I-cord edging details. So that's what I've been working on. I'm over halfway through the yoke right now, which is exciting. So I think we can establish that it was the project, because I did this all in one day, on and off. So yeah, I mean, this is also on 6mm needles, so it goes by much quicker. I've been enjoying this and this, and yeah, can't wait to get a bit further with this and kind of get a bit more of a feel of what it's gonna fit like, because now it's just very ambiguous right now. But I like the fabric. I don't know, I struggled a bit with the fabric at first, but I think it's fun. I think. I'm not yet decided, but if I'm not gonna make this with this yarn, I don't know what else I would make with it. So, so far, I'm feeling optimistic. It's the end of the month and I didn't finish anything because I basically did knit, which is crazy. I think it's been a long time since I didn't knit anything, but I've been in a bit of a slump, as I said. I did the tee, and then halfway through I was like, I'm not gonna wear this. I didn't have enough yarn for the end product anyway, and I was like, I'm not buying any more yarn to finish this one product when I already know I'm not gonna wear it. So, fuck that one. I didn't work on my 7 PM tank because it's just, the needles are too small right now. I feel like I've been knitting on small needles for months on end and I just can't anymore. And then I hurt my wrist, so now I can't do any knitting. I did get rid of a lot of yarn because I taught another friend how to crochet and I gave some of the yarn that I wasn't going to use to her. So she has like a starting point. So that's fun. So I don't have any projects to show you, but I do have some numbers because, again, I gave some yarn away. 796 grams in total. And that means that we have 9,804 grams in stash divided by 50. That is 196 skeins. We're under 200 people. The goal was to be under 200 at the end of the year. So we slayed that. Do I dare say 150 at the end of the year? Don't think so. But we can try. Okay, let's just set that as a goal. Let's set that as a, maybe 175. I'm gonna be crazy and say 150 for the end goal of the year. And let's just see how that goes. Last month I left you with just one whip, the 7 PM tank. A couple days ago I visited my friend and I started on the ruffle socks by Mitten. I know I said that I was struggling with the small needles, which is still true. However, I feel like socks is a different story because it's a smaller project. That being said, I am not enjoying these socks that much. Like, it's not horrible, it's just, it kind of defeats the purpose of socks for me because they're not mindless at all. Maybe from this point on, but I'm already dreading to have to do this part for the next sock. And then my friend also told me that I should probably finish my blanket, and you know what? They are right. So I might actually continue on that one too. Maybe. Alright, let's start with updates. We've actually been doing really well. I finished the first sock tube for the ruffle socks. This is not the original construction. I used the pattern for the cuff, for the ruffle, and then just basically did my own sock tube thingy that I always do because I just really like afterfall heels. I have not started the second one yet because I didn't really like making this cuff. Like, I like the way it looks, but it's not a very enjoyable process. At least I don't think so. I have to gather the courage to pick up that second one. But I started crocheting some squares for my blanket because I'm pretty close to finish it. Like, I have a lot of squares still, and it was a period of time where like I might just make a pillowcase out of it, because I didn't really feel like making more squares and continuing on the blanket. But my friends were like, no, Karlijn, don't do it. So they kind of inspired me to take the blanket up again. So made squares, and I'm just gonna work on this as well. Definitely won't be, no, I probably won't be finishing that blanket this month, but I'm planning on making some good progress, so I'm excited. I have made a lot of squares over the past couple of days, as well as attached it to the blanket. So I'm making good progress. I think I did like 5 rows, which every row is 20 squares. So I think I made about 100 squares / attached it as well immediately. So good progress. Definitely won't be finishing it this month, but maybe next month. Maybe. Perhaps. So I'm excited. I think I only need a couple more of the orange squares. I'm gonna do those first so I can put the orange yarn that I have left over like aside. So if I bring it with me, because I'm gonna go home in a couple days, I don't have to carry the orange yarn with me, and I'm basically gonna go through it like that. So that's the plan. I made some good progress, and I wanted to share it with you. So for the first thing I wanted to show you, it's a bit difficult to see the progress I made, but you just have to believe me, I made a lot of progress. So this is my blanket that I have designed in collaboration with Hobby. You can get it on their website. I will link it in the description. It's a quilt looking blanket. So I do not have a picture of what it was before this month, but I do know that I attached at least 5 rows of squares, of 20 squares. So I attached at least 100 squares. I think I did more, but I can't be certain. This is what the edge is looking like now. I still need to attach some spots here, because I attached it with the yarn that was like that I fastened up with, and so sometimes I didn't have the right color yarn. So there are certain spots I still need to attach, but most of it is like fully formed. So that's really nice. And then I also still have quite a lot of squares that need to be attached still, but that I did make. So yeah, I'm feeling really optimistic about this blanket. I think I need to add 1, 2, 3, at least 4 more rows, and then I still need to add 2 more rows on the sides to make it a 1-person blanket. Originally I wanted this to be a blanket for on my bed, so it would have to be king size, which is 2 by 2, and while I would still love that, I just don't think that's realistic, because that means I have to do all of this one more time, and I don't think I have that in me. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna finish it to be a 1-person blanket, and then maybe if I feel like it, I can always like make more squares and then attach them in rows and kind of build it out. But if I finish it as a first, like a 1-person blanket, I will count it finished, a finished object, because otherwise I don't think I will ever fully call this a finished project. So that's exciting. I genuinely think that I might be able to pull that off next month. finishing it as a first, like a one-person blanket, which would be really, really exciting because there's quite a lot of yarn in this. So that would be real nice for the destashing. So I'm excited about this one. And then at the beginning of the month, I started working on my ruffle socks. I showed you the tube, and then I stopped. Because again, I think I mentioned this, but I really did not enjoy the beginning of this sock, which is understandable. I won't say anything about the construction because that I will give that away, but it's not pleasant in my opinion. And then the sock tube is fine, right? But I don't wanna have to do this again. I will have to eventually, because that also means that I'm now behind on my pair of socks every other month goal. Well, technically not, because I think in June I made 2 pairs of socks, and technically I'm still on par with the goal, but I would have liked it if I were able to finish these this month. I might be able to finish these next month. I mean, I definitely can. I don't know if I mentally can though. That's the question. But yeah, these are still in the same stage as you last saw them. Could I have done the heel? Yes. But I genuinely think the second sock syndrome on this one is hitting me really hard, so I'd rather first do the second shoot and then do both heels together, because otherwise I don't think I'll be making the second sock. So I'll have to see what I'm gonna do with that next month. But yeah, no finished objects, so no yarn out of stash. But I also did not bring anything in stash, so our yarn total is still the same as last month, which might be a bit anticlimactic, but it's okay because I made a lot of progress, and I think next month is going to be huge in terms of the stashing. So I'm excited. As a reminder, we're working on the blanket, on my blanket. For those who've never seen it, this is what it looks like. It's a quilt inspired blanket, but crochet, because I can sew, but my sewing is questionable. So I designed this blanket. If you want to check out the pattern, I will link it in the description. I need a couple more squares to finish out this blanket, but we're almost there. And if we finish this blanket, a lot of yarn can go out of stash. These are my current socks. I finished the first tube. And those are all my, well, I do still have my Ingress sweater, which is missing one sleeve, but I ran out of yarn, so can't finish that one yet. I need to order some more yarn for that one. Now, I know I said that I am making good progress to get a lot of yarn out of stash this month if I finish that blanket. However, I haven't really been feeling working on that blanket yet, so you might hate me for this, but I think I might cast on something new. Listen, I can feel bad about it, but honestly I don't. If I want to knit and the work in progress are not calling me, then who's holding me back from casting something new? Society. I don't care about society. So I'm just gonna do it if I feel like it. So yeah, we started the month with 196 skeins. Let's see where we can end it. Alright, so I figured there was only one sweater quantity in my stash left that has a set plan, and that is my zipper sweater. So I figured I should probably start working on that one. So I casted it on. I debated on doing just regular ribbing instead of the twisted ribbing, because the female version of the zipper sweater has twisted rib, but the men version has just regular ribbing. But I looked at it and I do actually think it's worth doing a twisted rib, unfortunately, because it's this part is flat. I really thought it wasn't going to be flat, but it is. And so the ribbing that you do, the twisted ribbing, also has a twisted pearl or a pearl through the back loop. Don't love that, but I will survive. I will persevere. It's gonna be fine. I know it will be, but that was the only thing I was a bit bummed about. I've been working on my zipper sweater for the past couple days and I'm making very good progress. I joined it around and then I split for the sleeves, and I think I need like 20 more centimeters for the body before starting on the rib. I had to see if I like that length though, because I'm not 100% sure about that yet. But my plan right now is just to knit up this ball that's attached to the body and then first work the sleeves, because I don't really want to do the sleeves when the body is already finished. So that's my plan for now. I have to say, I do really like working on this project because it's on 5mm needles, so it grows pretty fast, and basically right now it's just a mindless knit because it's just a knot stitch in the round. So really like that. I might be delusional, but I think I might actually be able to finish this one this month. Maybe that's just me being delusional, probably. Maybe I can't actually. I know, kind of depends. Like if I focus on this for the rest of the month, I could probably finish this, but I don't know, we'll have to see. Anyway, I really like the fabric, so my mohair is definitely a little bit lighter than the drop sleemer, as you can see, but I actually quite like the way the fabric is turning out with the lighter mohair. I don't know, I think it's a vibe. Anyway, I'm very happy with how this is turning out. I'm not looking forward to putting in the zipper, but luckily for me, that's all the way at the bottom of the pattern, so I don't have to worry about that yet. I have news. I finished the body of my sweater. I know I said that I wanted to finish the sleeves first and then finish the body, but I did not, because I never listened to myself. So I finished the body yesterday when I was in the car to the yarn fair, because I went to the yarn fair to help set up the stand for Myrta. So now all we have to do is put in the sleeves and finish the zipper, and then we're done with this sweater, which is very exciting. Not gonna lie, I am a little bit worried on the amount of mohair that I have, which is stupid because it's yarn I actually got with the intention of making this sweater, so if that's the case, it is actually my own fault. I mean, it's always my fault, let's be honest. But it fits great so far. I'm really happy with the fabric actually. I think it looks great, and I'm excited. So tomorrow I am going back to the fair to help out Myrta with selling and just, you know, helping out at the market, so I will have some transit time as well, which I am planning on hopefully. Obviously, maybe I can finish one sleeve. Maybe we start the second one. Maybe I'm delusional, but I think it could be done. Will it be done? Probably not, but it could be done. That's the plan for tomorrow. I will film something from the market as well, because I think that's fun. So yeah, I'll take you along with me tomorrow to the market and keep you updated on the sweater. I finished the first sleeve today. I actually didn't end up going to the yarn fair because I am feeling a bit meh. But I did finish one of the sleeves. Ta-da! Actually really like how it's turning out. So I don't think I'll be starting the sleeve today. Actually, might as well at least put the needles in there. But I don't think I'm gonna start knitting on it today. I think I'm gonna take a shower and go to bed. But yeah, I am happy with the progress so far. I don't think, I mean, technically speaking, I could finish the next sleeve tomorrow because I finished this sleeve in one day, so I could, but I'm not sure if I'm going to. Maybe, actually. But yeah, I'm happy with the progress. I think I will have enough yarn because I still have basically 2 skeins of this, which should be enough, and then a little less than 1 skein of mohair. So I'm really hoping this will be enough. I think it will be, but it might just run out early, which would suck. But if that's the case, I guess I just have to go yarn shopping. That's the update, I guess. So I finished my zipper sweater, at least the knitting portion. I still need to install the zipper, but I'm pretty sure that's something I should probably do after blocking. Because if I put in the zipper already and it does grow, you get puckering. So I think I'm gonna block the sweater first, but so far I'm like really excited about how it looks. I even already sewed in most of the loose ends. I made it with the yarn that I got. Still have some left over, so yay me. I finished knitting my zipper sweater. I do still have to put in the zipper, but it's drying right now, so I can't do that yet. And I was debating whether or not I should call it a finished object, because technically speaking it's not, but the knitting is done. So the yarn that is used for that sweater, that was gonna be used for that sweater, so it's already been used. And so I decided that I will call it a finished object for this month. It used up 702 grams in total of the kit silk and lima combined. I did not work on my sock. It's still a tube and I still haven't started the second one because I did not feel like it. And I did add a couple more squares to my blanket, but again, not significant enough to call it a finished object yet. And I know I said this last month, but I do actually think that next month this will be finished. And I'm very excited about that. We went from 196 to 182 skeins. So that is minus, I can do math, 14? Minus 14 skeins. Next month, next episode, we'll be actually finishing the blanket, hopefully. Also, thank you for all the kind words about my blanket. I'm really excited about this one. It's been a real labor of love, so I really liked reading the comments about it, and to see that you guys really liked it as well. So thanks for that. So I feel like I haven't actually properly explained what my plan is for my blanket. So I added a couple more squares since the last time you saw it. I know it probably doesn't look like that, but I did. And so my plan right now is to basically square it off. So I have these here. I have to see, I think this one is an extra one, so I can take this one off and then square it off like that and then call it a blanket. And then whenever I feel like it, I can work it out in strips. But once I finish the block, right, once I block it off here, the length is achieved, and it's like the width of a one-person blanket, and so I'm gonna call it a finished object once it's actually the shape of a blanket. And then maybe I will build on it, like add more rows of squares after that, but I don't think I will. I do still have quite a lot of yarn left over, so I think that's just gonna be part of my stash for over the years. If I do want to make squares, I can make squares and then eventually attach them to the blanket. You know what? I think once it's a one-person blanket, I'm just gonna say that it's finished, and then the yarn that's left over, I will plan other projects with, I think. But I'm not entirely sure about that yet. This is not a drill. I only need to make 12 more squares and the blanket will be a rectangle. Okay, so I've been working on my blanket for the past couple of days. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more squares to make it a one-person square blanket, or rectangle, I suppose. But and this is kind of embarrassing, but I would love this blanket to be the king size blanket it was meant to be. And do I want to do it? No. But do I really want that blanket? Yes. And so will I commit to making it a 2-person blanket? I'm afraid I will. So 6 more squares to finish the blanket as a 1-person blanket. I think I'm gonna count the yarn out after that. So if I finish those 6 squares, I'm gonna get this blanket out of stash, all the yarn that's in this blanket, and then from now on I'll just, every month I just take out yarn for this blanket when I use it, because again it's going to be a very long project, and I know that if I don't do that, I do not have as much motivation to work. So if I work on it next month, for example, I will just count the yarn that I used in that month specifically and just count it out of stash immediately, because if I don't, the motivation will not be there and it's going to be a very slow project. And now this might help me to kind of stay motivated to work on it. So that's the plan. I am very excited about how it's looking though. There's a cat on it. Please! It's so good. I'm really happy with how it's turning out. But I put it on my bed. I made the mistake of putting it on my bed, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. But it just doesn't, like, I have a king size bed, so I need a king size blanket, and this is not a king size blanket yet. and that's the mistake that I made. So now I am committing to making it a king size blanket. So a friend of mine sent me a video of a cat hat scarf situation that they really wanted, and they don't crochet, so I was like, you know what, I do. So I'm making them a cat hat slash scarf. It looks ridiculous. This was a very impulsive decision to make this, but I had this yarn, and if you follow me for a little longer, you know that this yarn I just couldn't find a good project with, mainly because I already frogged it a couple of times, so the fluff was less, which is why I now have to hold it double, which is fine, but yeah, it is what it is. It was yarn I couldn't figure out what to do with, and then they sent me the video of something that they wanted, and it was fluffy, and I was like, you know what, that could work. So I am working on that now. I am basically finished. I just need to finish this side, the scarf, and then I'm done. And this marks the start of my gift making journey. So I don't think they are watching this, but if they are, surprise. It looks really silly when it's not on, but it's cute. I did not buy a pattern for this, but I think if you want to make this as well, a creator on Instagram has something similar, and I will link that pattern below, so if you want to make it, you can. My blanket, I've been kind of using it already. Here's the thing, right? I decided I do want it to be a king size blanket, and I made it rectangular so I can use it now. It's as finished as it can be without being finished, you know. And I started on the extra section. So there are 2 more panels that need to go on each side of the blanket, and I'm working on one of them right now. Okay, so this is what I have done so far, and I actually really like doing it in these smaller kind of panels, because now you can actually tell what I'm doing, the progress I made. So this is all new since this month, since I finished this blanket. She's also been enjoying this blanket a lot. Look at that face. What did you do? I just realized I haven't shown you this project at all yet, and it's finished. So here's the thing, right? I have a lot of yarn and a lot of quantities that are hat slash scarf slash gloves kind of quantity, just not enough to make a full project with. So what I decided to do, Christmas is here before you know it. So ask my friends if, for no particular reason, if they have ever wanted something knitted or crocheted, they should text me. for no particular reason, of course. And they did. So the cat hat I showed you earlier in this video was one of them, and then another friend wanted a hat, and their favorite colors were lilac and brown, so I'll make them this hat. Here's the thing, I would have loved to make the ribbing a little longer, but you know, I was afraid of running out of yarn, and then I ran out of yarn, out of the brown yarn at the very end. Let me see if I can find it. Here, it's missing. It's missing part of the petal here. But here's the thing. Would I have loved to actually be able to finish it? Yes. But also, who's gonna know? Nobody's gonna know. This is the yarn I've left over. The brown obviously is all gone. This was 50 grams. It is now probably 20, probably 20, maybe 15 left. So that would be 20 plus, can't do math, about 50 grams gone. So I'm excited. I think it's fun. I'm gonna block it now. Don't know why I haven't shown you until now, but here it is. I did it again. I finished the project without showing you first, or like anything of the process, but I mean, it's a very small project. So this is it. You're like, what is it? So it's a pouch to put your wired earphones in. I don't have those anymore because I'm bougie like that. No. My friend still has the wired earbuds and they like wanted a pouch for them. So I made this. I think it's cute. This probably used like 10 grams max. Very easy, very fast, very cute. And I do think I want to make something more for that because this is basically nothing. But I still have to figure out what I want to add. I'm not sure yet. I'm still thinking about it. Alright, so yesterday and today I started making some more crochet squares from the blanket. And I think I talked to y'all about this before, but the orange in my blanket is only full squares and no half squares, and so I figured I would make those so the yarn that's left over can already be set aside, if that makes sense. And so I focused on making orange squares, and well, it doesn't look, these are 28 orange squares, and then I also made all the solid green ones that I needed, and all the solid red ones, all the solid beige ones, and then I started on some solid like white ones, or like cream, I guess. It's not really white. I haven't made all of them yet because I need a ridiculous amount of white, like solid squares. And the white is also in some of the half squares. So, and I'm honestly not 100% sure that I have enough white yarn, but I did make some, and then I also started on the half squares. So I have a lot of squares that needs to be attached. This is the new kind of blanket progress. And I mean, some of these can already be attached, but I think I want to focus on making squares for now and then attach them later. Kind of need to anyway, because I need to make some more half squares to be able to actually make this into a blanket and incorporate all of these. So yeah, that is what I was doing. Alright, let's talk numbers. So I finished 4 projects this month, including the quilt blanket 1-person size edition. So I finished the blanket in the first size, so the smaller size, and as I said, I do want to make it bigger, but that will have to wait. I'm working on it. So for now, I call this a finished object because if I don't, I feel like I'm gonna get demotivated and I don't want that. So this blanket so far has taken up 1060 grams of yarn, and that is a good portion of yarn out of stash. I can't do math. Like 20? Is that 20 skeins? 20, no, 21. Somewhere around there. Listen, there's a reason I am studying a language. Then I finished the cat snooty situation. It's in a gift bag right now, so I can't show you. And that one took up 123 grams, so about 2.5 skeins. And then the last project, well, the last project I have it with me here. There's one more project, which was the earphone pouch I already gave away. That earphone pouch took up 7 grams, so you know. The last project I have here to show you is the hat. So this is the hat that I made for my friend. I actually really liked how it turned out. And this one took up 47 grams in total. So it was, I think 35. I have this written down somewhere. 37 grams of the lilac and 10 grams of the brown yarn. So very cute. This was a free pattern, by the way. I did add ribbing because the original one did not have a folded rim, and I like folded ribbing rims, so I added that. But for the rest of it, I just follow it. Well, not really, because the original has three colors, and I have to. But I mean, I did some editing, but I think you can figure it out if you want to follow it kind of like this. So yeah. Oh, again, always, if you didn't know, all my projects are always linked in the description. They'll go to the Ravelry page that I made for it, and then you can click on either the yarn or the pattern that I used. Those are all the projects I have to show you. In total, this month we used 1237 grams of yarn, which is really, really good. I mean, I guess we didn't use it all this month because obviously the blanket has been a long project, but you get what I mean. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. We went from 182 skeins of yarn to 157. I've been really enjoying making gifts because it's such a good way to like kind of clean up my stash in a way, while still being able to make things myself, but just not for myself, because sometimes I'm like, I don't need this. For example, that cat snooty is something I really enjoyed working on, but I would never have made for myself. So I think gift giving or gift making in that way is really, really nice. I think I will be making more gifts in the future. If you have any ideas on gift ideas that I can make, do feel free to let me know, because I'm open for anything. I'm planning on working on my blanket. I need to do some gift making for next month. I want to order yarn for my Ingress sweater and my blanket so I can finish that next month, because next month will be all in the theme of trying to finish my whips. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to see what I end up doing. Okay, so yesterday I made a ridiculous amount of squares and I'm now attaching them. I did already attach one wrong because it's supposed to look like this. I attached this one wrong, which is sad, but also I only realized after it was already like woven in and attached like really securely, and there's no easy way for me to take it out, so I'm just gonna leave it. There's already a mistake in the bigger one too, so it's just some spark, some character. We're making good progress. It's looking good. I'm happy. Okay, so it's been a while since I talked to you guys. I've been really bad at updating you. I don't know why, but I've been really bad. So I figured let's do a little recap of what I've been doing for the past week and a half-ish. So if you watched my last video, you recognize this one. This is the earbud, like the wired earphone pouch that I made for a friend, but unfortunately it's too small, so I need to make it bigger, which is on my to-do list. I also still need to make one more gift for a friend this month, hopefully. And then I've been working on my blanket, so I've still been using that one, but I've started attaching some of the squares, and I still need to make a lot of this particular square. And then I also still need to make some of these, but I ran out of white yarn, so I think what I'm gonna do, because I also still need to get my Ingress sweater yarn, which is other from Hobby, so I'm thinking I'm probably gonna place in an order sometime soonish for that yarn, so I can finish both those projects, which would be really nice. And then I started a new project for myself. My friend and I both wanted to make a tea, and we decided on doing tea number 1 by my favourite things knitwear, and because we both wanted to make it, we decided on a little cow, so I started that. I actually really like this fabric. So this is the Hobby Black Friday cotton, which is limited edition, but I think, like, I never tried their 8/4 cotton or the rainbow cotton or whatever it's called, but I'm assuming it's pretty similar. But I really like it. It's very soft, and I like the way it works up. So this is a fingering weight with a 3.5 needle. I only one of my 3.5 needles broke, and then instead of a 3.5 needle, they sent me a 4mm needle. So now I have 3 4mm needles and still 1 3.5, because when I realized that they did that, it was like over a year later. I was like, well, what am I supposed to do now? So now I only have one long 3.5 needle. Luckily I still have shorties, so I'm just acting like it's a sock, I suppose, which doesn't really work because it's it's flat. So I'm changing needle size every single time I turn, but I mean, it's doable. It's not that bad. I'm just complaining. This is not necessarily really my color, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna like it when it's worked up, but I'm willing to try, because I mean, to be honest, I made my camisole number 4 out of this, and I do really like that one, so I'm giving it a try. And if I don't like it, I can always either trade it with someone or give it to someone, or we'll figure it out. I can always maybe dye it, because it is a pretty light color, so I could always maybe dye over it. So I'm just gonna knit. So I have this yarn out of my stash, and I have a tee that I would in theory like, and then if I don't, we can reassess. Those are my current projects and what I'm working on, or what I'm wanting to work on. I think tonight I'm gonna work in this one. Here's the thing though, I obviously always did all the ends and did everything like that, and I don't think I have any more of this yarn. So what I'm gonna have to do to make it bigger is probably gonna rip back basically everything, and then do alternating rows of this one with a black, I think, maybe. That's my plan right now. Alright, so I finished the pouch, or the reworked pouch. It's definitely a lot bigger now. I definitely didn't have enough yarn to fully make it out of this color, so I added some black yarn. I think it still has the same kind of vibe. I think it's fun. I think it's fun, funky, fresh. So I'm gonna have to weigh how much of the black yarn I used, but it's probably, it can't be more than 5 grams. So I got myself in a little bit of a pickle. I have this really bad habit of whenever I need to keep stitches on hold, especially for like shoulders, I just continue, like leave the piece, the old piece on my cable, start the new piece, and then, you know, just continue on knitting, because usually you have to eventually put it on the same cable anyways, right? Help. Why am I like this? I think I saved it, which is a problem because I always find ways to make it work, which, like, great, but also that does mean I won't change my ways. The amount of ends this project has actually makes me feral. Like, why? I did finish the back portion of my tee number 1. Oh, it's a stitch mark. I was like, what will happen here? I think the last time I showed you, I had just finished the shoulders and attached it to the back, and I've now done the entire back section, and I will be picking up for the front next. Tomorrow I'll be going to a yarn fair to help Mirza, and sometimes, I mean, we do always bring like a project with us just in case it's kind of slow, not that busy, and to just have something to do. And I was thinking of taking, usually I have socks with me because those are easy, pretty mindless, and you can't really make mistakes. You can, but not catastrophic mistakes. I was thinking of bringing socks, but the only socks I have right now are the ruffle socks, which, if I if I cast on the ruffle socks and then do the ruffle tonight, they'll be mindless by tomorrow. So I was thinking of doing that, and then instead I started on my tee number 1. I picked up the stitches on the right shoulder and then proceeded to do the instructions for the left shoulder. Well, time to go back. So I started on a new present for a friend, and I knew their hands were big, right? But I'm not convinced they're that big. And they sent me their measurements, so it must be right, but I'm making good progress though. I did the wristband of both actually. I thought it might be cute if they were like mismatched. So this is purple wristband, and then I'm just alternating white, green, and purple rose like that in the gender queer colors, and then I'm gonna do the same thing but starting at green on this side, which I think will be cute. I think it's cute, it's turning out really nice. I do have to weave in 1,000 ends, but it's fine. It's fine. I finished off my mittens, my fingerless gloves. I think they're too short. I definitely feel like I still need to extend this part, but because their hands are so much bigger than mine, it's really hard to kind of see, because this would be fine if it was for me, but it's not for me, and they have bigger hands, so it probably needs to be extended. But I don't know by how much. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna give them like this with the this one strand not weaved in yet. So if I need to pull back, I can. These are them for now. I also don't really have any white left. Like, I still have fingering weight, like a white yarn, but not this exact yarn. So if I can avoid it, I really like not to have to introduce another white yarn. So I'm just gonna see if they fit like this, but if not, then we'll have to figure out what to do next. I do really like the mismatched kind of vibe. I still need to weave in some of the ends. I weaved in most of them. Trust, I had to weave in a lot of ends. But I think they're cute. I like the fact that they're like, they match, but they're not exactly the same, which I think is cute. I use a free pattern for this, which is linked in the description. I finished the front! Whoop, whoop. Alright, it's been a while. Let me update you on what I've done. I've actually been working on my team number 1 right here. It's in the round. I'm like halfway through the body, I would say. Maybe like 2/3. I am still not sure about the color, but again, I can easily dye this color over, so might be a nice little experiment. On another note, I got some yarn. So I know what you're thinking. Hello? Are we not destashing? Yes, we are. So what I got is 2 of these. This is Hobby Extra Fine Merino, the yarn that I used for my blanket. So I got some more. I am honestly, I clicked the purchase button. I was like, I don't think this will be enough. But then I already bought it. So I don't think this will be enough yarn. That will be a problem for another day. I'm not worried. And then also I got another skein of their Highland wool. So I can finally finish my Ingress sweater. Here's my plan for December. I actually think that December I'm gonna tackle my whips. So I want to finish my Ingress sweater next month. I want to make good progress on my blanket. Hopefully finish it, but at least make some really good progress. I would like to do my second ruffle sock. I think that's on my whips, well, except for my team number 1, which I will be working on for the rest of the month. I'm not going to finish this month, but get pretty far with it, and then I will also would like to finish this one next month. I know that's a lot. I know it's a lot, but that's my plan. I want the last month of the year to be full of finished objects, so we're gonna fully go through it for it, and just race through the finish line. So that's the plan. That one just keeps falling down. I have decided that I can't be bothered to fix it, so I have to live with this. You also have to live with this. It is what it is. So let's discuss numbers. So we started this month with 157 skeins of yarn. I finished one project, which are these fingerless mittens for my friend. These took up about 75 grams of yarn. So that's 1.5 skein out of stash. But if you remember correctly, I did also add 3 skeins of yarn into stash so I can finish my Ingress sweater next month as well as my blanket. That means that we actually added 1.5 skeins this month, but that's okay because we are pretty far done with my team number 1. I'm halfway through the body and then I need to do the neckline and the sleeves. And once that is finished, I should have 6 skeins out of stash. I'm excited for next month. I'm planning on finishing all the whips, all the projects. I'm really excited. I'm hoping we can get under 150, that would be awesome. So I've been working on my tee number 1. This is how far I am at the moment. I feel like I'm doing pretty well. I haven't measured it yet. Maybe we should do that now. We're at 37. I feel like that's good. That's good progress. This skein is almost empty, and then I have 2 more skeins left. I genuinely think it will be enough because, well, the pattern says it should be enough. This is 200 grams so far, and I have 100 more grams, so I think I should be fine. And if not, I still have a top at home at my parents' place in this color that I could pull out, which I might as well do anyway because I'm not wearing a top, which is exactly why it's still at my parents' place. But I figured I'm getting kind of bored of the like plain stockinette. I think once this skein is empty, I'm gonna first do the neckline, maybe even do the sleeves first and then move on to the body, but yeah, I don't know. I'm happy though, it's looking good. It definitely needs a good block because my knitting has been all over the place. I don't know what's happening, but the tension is horrendous. I think we can finish this month. Maybe. So today's Sunday, right? Maybe we can even finish it before like the end of next week. So Sunday next week. So I finished the neckline. Good stuff. I'm happy. It's the 2nd of December and I feel like we're making really good progress on this one, so we can definitely finish this tee this month, which would be 6 skeins out of stash. I'm planning on taking my ruffle sock with me on vacation, so that would probably be 1 skein out of stash. Maybe a little bit more. And then I can also definitely finish that 2nd sleeve of my Ingress sweater. So I'm excited. I do in fact not have enough yarn. I was continuing on the body for my tee number 1, and then I looked at my yarn and I was like, it's gonna be tight. And so I figured let's first do one of the sleeves. So I finished the first sleeve and I was kind of sort of hopeful that this would take half a skein, so 25 grams of yarn. This is the yarn I've got left over after doing that sleeve. This is 12 grams. So 1 sleeve takes about 35 grams. This is what I have left of the body. So this together probably will be able to make 1 more sleeve. But I kind of wanna, I need to lengthen the body. We're running out of yarn. I'm gonna go home for Christmas and I have a crochet top with this yarn that is, if I remember correctly, it should still be there, which I can pull out and use the yarn off, and then we should be fine. So that's what I'm gonna bank on. I'm just gonna continue knitting like nothing's happened. I do really like the t-shirt so far. Okay, well, that's a bummer. First of all, don't mind the outfit. I don't want to hear about it. I'm having a chill day. This is the fit. Take it or leave it. I double checked, but I do in fact not have any more yarn in my baskets. So I will have to go to my parents' place to pick it up and leave this one on hold because I have finished all the yarn that I did have. I actually didn't check how much I did on the body. I know it's not enough, but we're getting really close. Okay, we literally need 4 more centimeters and then we're finished with the body. Well, and then we do the hem of the body. So we're really close. Unfortunately, I can't finish it this month because, again, the yarn is at my parents' place. But I am confident we can finish this one in January, and I am really happy with how it turned out so far. So this one's going on hold, and then this does mean we can continue working on my Ingress sweater. So that's exciting. We only need one more sleeve for that one, so call me delusional again, but I think we can finish that this week. I can vaguely remember using a different needle size, and I did put it on ruffle. Thankfully I put it somewhere else, somehow. But now, I can also still vaguely remember that I did something different with my sleeve. It's like, I need to write that down because I will forget. Guess who didn't write it down? I found it. Oh my god, I love myself. Crisis averted. This is what I got so far. I did the entire body. I did the entire first sleeve. And now I just need to do the second sleeve. So let's get started on that.
You're such a good loaf.
So I finished my sweater. This sleeve took me about 2 days because it is textured, obviously it takes a bit longer, and I also had to do the first cross section a second time because the worst thing about this pattern is that they just start to decrease in on the sleeve. They don't actually tell you how you do that while still keeping the sleeve, like the pattern, intact. It doesn't look great, but the first time I did it, it looked actually like horrendous. So I had to rip it back and do it again. So this is the part where you decrease. It's a bit stupid, but it is what it is. So I talked more about this in the second episode of the Destashing series when I first casted on this sweater. I intended to make this sweater with this yarn and mohair held together, but the mohair didn't quite match this yarn, so I decided not to do the mohair, but that way my gauge didn't match up because my yarn weights didn't match up. So I had to do some calculating and some figuring things out, but I'm really happy with how it looks. I'm gonna give this a good blog because what even is this? I'm very excited about this sweater finally being done. I'm kind of getting to the point where most of my yarn is scrap quantities or at least smaller projects. So next year will be like actual proper destashing and not just using things out of my stash that I already have plans with, if that makes sense. So I'm very excited about that. If you have any ideas or you want to see something specifically, let me know. Is there a cat in frame? There is. Well, are you joking? Okay. Thank you. I would say next up is my ruffle socks, but I kind of want to take those along with me on vacation. So I think I'm going to work on my blanket. Alright, so I made the mistake of not showing you this before I started working on it, but I made quite some progress on the extension of my blanket. I have most of the squares already made. I just have to attach them. Why are you yapping? No, you still have to wait 45 minutes. Yes. I need to wear a different sweater. I don't want to dox myself. Here's the update on the blanket. I've attached all the squares that I currently have. It's really hard to show, but it's all attached. So now I just need to make more squares and fill in the gaps, and then attach the extension to the main blanket. Now here's the thing. Ideally, I would like to block this blanket, but it's quite big and it takes up a lot of space, and I also don't really want to have to deal with that. So what I'm thinking, hopefully I can finish this before I leave on vacation, and then right before I leave I can actually block it, just leave it to dry when I'm away so it's not in my way, and then by the time I come back it should be dry. That's my thoughts. The only downside to that is that it's the 18th of December today and I'm leaving on the 24th. So I have 6 more days to finish this blanket. Can we do it? I do actually think we can do it, but I do have to lock in. Lock in. That's my plan. Also, this is, it is sort of related. I've been looking up patterns that I want to make next year. Mainly scrappy kind of patterns. So for example the sport sweater, and one sweater that really caught my eye was the BB sweater. I think next year will be very fun and exciting because it will actually be like proper stash busting, because this year I still have a lot of sweater quantities left with like plans like my Scrappy sweater and my Ingress sweater. Next year I think I have 1 or 2 more sweater quantities in my stash, and the rest is just odds and ends and just weird quantities. If you have any really nice, exciting, stash busting, scrappy patterns that you want me to try or you think I might like, let me know, because I've been keeping my eye out and I've been getting really excited for next year. First things first, I finished, very first things first, I finished an amigurumi. So that amigurumi plush took up exactly 26 grams. And then the biggest thing of this month is that I finished my Ingress sweater. So this is my Ingress sweater. If you're like, it looks different, that's because it is different. I had to make a 3XL to kind of make a medium size Ingress sweater because of my gauge, which also meant that my row gauge was very, very off. So I had to kind of play with the textured sections. So this is how it turned out. I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. I think it's maybe a bit more basic in a way. I don't know, it's a bit more subtle. This one is made with Hobby's Highland wool. Most of the yarn for this sweater I got gifted by Hobby, but I had to have 1 extra skein to be able to finish this sweater that I bought with my own money. But I really enjoyed this yarn. So it has definitely softened up a little bit after blocking. It's really actually quite soft. It's rustic, but the yarn feel itself is like really soft. It's not itchy whatsoever, in my opinion. And I really like the drape of this sweater yarn combination. I really like the way it has worked up. And I've worn it already, so that's a good sign. And yeah, I'm really happy with this sweater, and I really liked the yarn, so I'm probably gonna use some of this yarn again in the future. I really enjoyed it. I obviously don't know how it wears just yet, but I imagine it will wear pretty well because it is still quite rustic yarn, so I'm excited. I'll keep you updated on that one. That Ingress sweater used up 393 grams. So let's just say 400, which is 8 skeins plus like half. So we have 8.5 skeins out of stash so far.
What do you want?
And then I didn't finish this one this month because I just simply couldn't, because I ran out of yarn. So this is my tee number 1 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I made this in hobby cotton, 8/4, like their Black Friday cotton. It was a limited edition thing, I think like 2 or 3 years ago. So I can't get any more of this yarn, but luckily I still have a project with this yarn at my parents' place, and since I'll be visiting them for Christmas, I'm gonna get that yarn, or that project rather, from them, and then I hopefully have enough yarn to finish it. I have to. I'll just start with the sleeve and then see how far we can get with the body section, but I'm really enjoying how this is working up as well. Really like the drape. I have to say, I really like Hobby's cotton. I think it's actually very nice, very soft and pretty drapey for the fact that it's cotton. So I also have been really enjoying working on this. I've actually made a lot of progress on all my my projects, but it's just, it hasn't been finished, so I'm not counting anything out of stash just yet. I think this currently has 200 grams in there, but again, we're not counting anything out of stash. Then my ruffle socks. So I'm taking this one with me on vacation, I think. I finished the sock tube of one, so I still have to put in a heel of this one, but everything else is finished. And then I have to start the second sock. I really didn't like the starting process of this sock, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take it with me on holiday. But here's the thing. I would have to start this scarf before I leave, and I will have to put it on pretty cheap needles, because technically you're not allowed to take your knitting needles on the plane. Usually it's not a problem, but I'm just not really, I'm not willing to risk it, so I would have to take my very cheap knitting needles, like sock needles, and first of all, I don't like working on them. Actually, now that I think of them, they're not even the right size, because I made these on a 2.25 and those are 2.5, so I shouldn't. I won't. I've just decided that I won't be taking these with me, because it's just not smart. So instead, I'm gonna keep these for January. We have very exciting progress on my blanket. So I really wanted to finish this one before I went on my holiday, so I could block it and let it dry when I was away. That has not happened, but I did finish my extension, and so did on. So it's now a square, and I still needs to add 2 rows on top of this blanket and then 3 rows on the side. But then it's finished, so I can't actually properly show this to you, but it's a blanket. Very exciting for this one. I made some of the squares for the first row already. I'm halfway there, I think. It's just I will not be having enough of this blue yarn. I was afraid so. Because when I ordered the yarn, I only looked at the white, which I'm still not entirely sure if this white's even going to be enough, but the blue definitely won't be. So I'm gonna have to order more yarn. Yes, I know, it's so stupid. I've just decided I'm gonna take the yarn that I've got currently for my blanket with me, which is these skeins. Focus on making squares, as many squares as I can with the yarn that I have, and then I will be, because this is still a fully new skein, I kept track of how many squares I've already made with this, and then I will make mark that somewhere so I know how many squares I can take out of one skein, and with that I will actually calculate and use numbers and logic this time to consider how much yarn I need for this project. I've made tons of progress on my blanket, so I am, even though it's not finished, I am really happy with the progress. And then I'm not gonna count it out of stash, but we don't have to, because how much yarn? 8.5, right? 8.5 skeins out of stash, which means that we're currently under 150 skeins, which was the goal, and it was a ambitious goal, to be honest. So let me look at this real quick. We started the month with 100 and, oh no! I'm lying to you! I started this month with 158.6 skeins. Bro, that's actually so mean. Because I used up 8.38 skeins this month, which means we're actually not under 150, because we're at 150. Wait, 158.6 minus 8.38. We're at 150.22. That's, listen, I'm just gonna say we did it, okay? That's ridiculous. That actually makes me kind of mad. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna say we did 150. And did we really? No. But do I care? Also no. I'm just gonna take the win. I've done enough yapping. So without further ado, if you liked this video, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Comment what you thought about it, maybe, or if you did a year of desashing, maybe share some numbers with me. See how well I did compared to you. Not that it's a competition, but I am intrigued. Subscribe if you want to see more of me, and you can also follow me on Instagram or on Revelry. And I guess with that, I'll see you guys next week.